Jeudy just sent a strong message to Shedeur Sanders. We got to break this thing down, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. That would be greatly appreciated. Jerry Jeudy is trying to let it be known to Shedeur. Don't get rid of me. I don't want to lose my job. We saw Jerry Jeudy on the field with Shedeur Sanders training, and now we get this, okay?
Outside.
Out training with Route God. Route God is nice, by the way. I follow him on Instagram. He worked with Odell, a lot of people.
Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver number 1 of the Cleveland Browns, is speaking out about that altercation he had with Shedeur on the sideline. Here's what he had to say.
Probably talk to them off camera, you know? That's probably what I would have done different, you know? Of course, I'm going to speak my mind and tell me what, and say what I need, what I see out there. But, you know, it what it is, football, man. Just me and Shedeur good. You know, stuff like that happens, you know. Y'all going to make it bigger than what it is, you know, because the media, you know, that's what y'all feed off of, negativity, you know, but it is what it is. This is the life we live, so, you know, we move on from it, and I live in real life, you know, so what happened around in this locker room, you know, this real, not what's going on social media and everything, so me and Shedeur good, everything good, man, we great.
Now, he does go on to say that the disagreement was over one play and that it's an emotional sport and that's just what happened. But you know what? He never did this with Flacco, and he sure didn't do it with Dylan Gabriel. And I know there were some plays that he thought could have been done differently from those quarterbacks. So it does shine brightly that he did decide to come at Shedeur on his second game like that on the sideline. But anyway, does this clear everything up for you? Is it just, emotions during the game, or was Jerry Jeudy, is he really an op for Shedeur? Let me know.
Probably just what I would have done different. I probably just probably talk to them off camera. You know, that's probably what I would have done different. Of course, I'm gonna speak my mind and tell me what, and say what I need, what I see out there. But it what it is, football, man. Just me and Shedeur good. It's stuff like that happens. Y'all gonna make it bigger than what it is. Because the media, that's what y'all feed off of, negativity. But it is what it is. This is the life we live. So, we move on from it. And I live in real life. So what happened around in this locker room, this real. Not what's going on social media and everything. So me and Shedeur good, everything good. Man. We great over there.
Jerry Jeudy let Shedeur Sanders down.
He's let him down at times, and also he's picked him up at times. I'm going to break down the play.
Please.
Number one, Jalen Johnson is playing way outside. But when I tell you that's clinic tape release at the line, and this is why myself and I'm sure others expect so much out of Jerry Jeudy. There's very few guys that would have tried to do the release that he did and get back, and he wins. Like, that's a great release. It's not a good release. That's a great release considering, because Jalen Johnson is one of the best DBs in the league. Like, what's something you could have done to help Shedeur? You know what he should have said? Catch the ball. Just catch the ball. You got to catch the ball, Jerry Jeudy. Very simple. Like, late hands, early hands, don't jump, catch the ball. I don't care what you catch the ball.
Let me ask you something real quick. What does it look like when a man is fighting for his job? Not in a boardroom, not in a press conference, but on a practice field, in front of cameras, sweating under the sun, running routes he should have been running all last season. That's exactly what Jerry Jeudy is doing right now. And the craziest part, the Cleveland Browns aren't even watching anymore. They're on the phone, calling agents, pulling up trade numbers, searching for Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr., Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Mai Lemon, first-round wide receivers who could come in and replace Jerry Jeudy like he was never there. And Jerry Jeudy, he knows it, he feels it, and now he's sending a message directly to Shedeur Sanders that the whole NFL world needs to hear. Welcome back to Keep the Vision. I'm going to break this thing down completely today. No fluff, no cap, just real talk. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and hit that bell notification. Let's get into it.
Instagram, he worked with Odell, a lot of people. This dude is fire when it comes to working with receivers.
Outside. Good.
You know this is. You better be on your game. Yeah, you need to catch the ball though. That's why I want to see you catching the ball.
Move.
Leading the league.
Move.
Drop.
Move.
Ridiculous.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Okay, Jerry Jeudy is putting that work in. Hey, you put that work in. Put that work in.
Yes, sir.
This is the mess.
Outside.
Is looking as
Good.
Here's what happened. Jerry Jeudy was spotted training outside with Shedeur Sanders and the Route God. Now, if you don't know who Route God is, this man is one of the most respected receiver trainers in the game right now. He's worked with Odell Beckham Jr. He works with elite receivers. His Instagram is fire. If a wide receiver is going to him, it means one thing. He's serious. He's locked in. He wants to be great. And Jerry Jeudy showed up. So, on the surface, that looks good. That looks like a man who wants to compete, who wants to build chemistry with his quarterback before the season even starts, who wants to be the guy in Cleveland. But here's where I have to stop the hype train and be completely honest with you all. Jerry Jeudy going to a training session does not erase what we watched last season. It does not erase the drops, it does not erase the sideline moment, and it does not erase the fact that this man was tied for second in the entire NFL in drops. You cannot catch claps in a phone booth. That's how bad it was. Let's go back to that Browns versus 49ers game. Score is 26-8. The offense is struggling. Shedeur Sanders throws one pass that's slightly off target, and Jerry Jeudy loses it on the sideline. Cameras caught everything. Jeudy is animated, clapping his hands, pointing fingers, telling his own quarterback that's wrong, while center Ethan Pochik had to physically step in between them. The internet went crazy. Fans were split right down the middle. Some people said Jeudy was a veteran trying to hold his quarterback accountable. Others said, hold on, bro, you've been dropping passes all season. You want to get in a rookie's face about one slightly off-target throw? And honestly, that second group had a point. Because here's the thing about Jerry Jeudy's reaction that nobody talked about enough. Veterans don't get to crash out on rookies when they themselves haven't been doing their job. You want to hold Shedeur accountable? Fine. But accountability goes both ways. And Jerry Jeudy's hands, literally his actual hands, were one of the biggest problems on that Browns offense all year long.
Where I feel like you can wish for a wide receiver, even just a number one in some capacity. I don't know what trade it's got to be. I don't know. We always talk about different players involved in this stuff, but like you got to get in. If you gave me one wish, the genie from Aladdin came down and said you get one, I'm making a big trade for a number one wide receiver.
So this is a trade.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not going to be just drafting a wide receiver at 6. That's already.
You got to double up on wide receivers.
I'm making this a powerful wide receiver room. Yeah, that's part of the idea. I feel like if you traded for a 1 and then also had, and again, it's not going to happen. They don't have the stones to do this.
Now let's talk about what Cleveland is doing in the front office, because this is where it gets really interesting. According to 92.3 The Fan, the Browns are in full evaluation mode when it comes to the wide receiver position, and the conversation is urgent. Not let's think about it urgent, we need to make a move urgent. The names being floated? Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr. out of Jacksonville, and in the draft, Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, and Mai Lemon, who all have legitimate first-round potential. Now here's what the analysts at 92.3 said that stuck with me. If you had one wish, one genie from Aladdin comes down and gives you one move for this offense, what do? The answer wasn't Jerry Jeudy. The answer wasn't let's give him another year. The answer was make a big trade for a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. A.J. Brown was mentioned as the dream scenario. Obviously, the financials make that nearly impossible. But the fact that A.J. Brown's name is being brought up in the same conversation as Cleveland's receiver room tells you everything about how the front office feels about what they currently have. And what they currently have is Jerry Jeudy. Here's something that people are sleeping on. The analysts specifically said Jordan Tyson might be the guy. Not Carnell Tate, not Mai Lemon. Jordan Tyson. Why? Because of all the first-round receiver prospects, Tyson gives Cleveland the best chance at finding a legitimate number 1. Carnell Tate is a nice player, but the ceiling there is maybe a T.Y. Hilton type, a really good complementary piece, not a number 1. Mai Lemon? Undeniable talent, But the combine raised some eyebrows, and there's an unpredictability factor there that some organizations are going to shy away from. Jordan Tyson, clean profile, big playability, the kind of receiver who can go up and make contested catches, run every route on the tree, and be a true WR1 at the next level. But here's the problem. He likely won't be available at pick 24, which means if Cleveland wants him, they need to move up, and that costs capital. So the question becomes, do you trade up for Tyson? Do you pull off a deal for Brian Thomas Jr.? Do you find a way to land Marvin Harrison Jr.? Or do you just keep Jerry Jeudy and hope the training sessions with Route God unlock something that 2 full NFL seasons couldn't?
Good job. Yep. Yes.
Junior. But the thing is, we've already lost trust in you, Jerry. We've already lost trust in you, Jerry Jeudy. You crashed out on the sideline because he threw one pass that was a little off target. Meanwhile, your ass was dropping passes all year. All year, you was dropping the ball. Couldn't catch claps in a whorehouse. No, I'm sorry. I see you putting the work in. Salute the route guy. This ain't enough for me. I don't trust you to catch the ball. I don't trust what I saw last season out of Jerry Jeudy. I think he was tied for second in the league in drops or something like that. No.
Now let's talk about what Jerry Jeudy's actions are actually saying to Shedeur Sanders, because there are no quotes here. There's no press conference statement. There's no Instagram post with a long caption. What we have is a wide receiver showing up to voluntary off-season training with his quarterback and one of the best route trainers in the country. That is the message. And the message is simple. Don't let them replace me. I'm working. I'm here. I believe in what we can be together. And look, I respect that. I genuinely do. Because a lot of guys in Jeudy's position would have sulked. They would have pointed fingers. They would have demanded a trade or gone quiet on social media. Jeudy is grinding. He's showing up. He's putting in the work with Route God. And the footage looks good. But here's where I have to keep it all the way real with you. Showing up in March means nothing if you can't hold on to the football in October. Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback. He's the future of this organization, and Shedeur deserves to be surrounded by weapons that make him better, not weapons that drop his passes and then blame him for being slightly off target on a single throw. The chemistry they build in the offseason is beautiful, but the Browns front office is not going to build Shedeur Sanders' career around a receiver who was tied for second in drops in the entire NFL. Let me be direct. The Cleveland Browns have a once-in-a-generation opportunity right now. You have a young, talented, mentally tough quarterback in Shedeur Sanders who has already shown he can handle pressure, handle adversity, handle conflict, and still go out and perform. That kid is built different. Now you have to build around him correctly. That means the offensive line, which analysts at 92.3 correctly pointed out needs at minimum 3 new pieces in this draft, not 1, has to be addressed seriously. Not just in free agency, in the draft too. And that means the receiver room has to get a legitimate upgrade. Jerry Jeudy as a second or third option on this offense, fine. That's a role he can fill. He's fast, he can win on certain routes, and when he catches the ball, and that's a big win, he can make things happen. But as the number 1 receiver that Shedeur Sanders is throwing to on 3rd and 6 in a big game, that trust is gone. That trust was broken on that sideline in San Francisco, and training sessions in March don't rebuild it overnight. Cleveland needs to be bold. Make the trade. Spend the draft capital. Give Shedeur his weapon. Jerry Jeudy's message to Shedeur Sanders isn't just, I'm working hard. It's, please don't give up on me. And that's actually kind of heartbreaking when you think about it. Because Jeudy is talented. He has the ability. But talent without consistency is just potential. And potential doesn't win games in January. The Cleveland Browns are building something real with Shedeur Sanders, and the decisions they make this offseason, in free agency, in the trade market, in the draft, are going to define the next 5 years of this franchise. Jerry Jeudy training with Route God is a good story. It's a feel-good moment. But Cleveland can't build a Super Bowl run on feel-good moments. They need a number 1 wide receiver. And right now, that receiver is not on their roster. That's the truth. That's the real message behind everything happening in Cleveland right now. Make sure you like this video. Drop a comment below. Do you think the Browns should keep Jerry Jeudy or make a move for a new #1 receiver? I want to hear from you. Subscribe to Keep the Vision, share this with a Browns fan, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's go.